Well, hello again. Today I'm going to take an opportunity to create a quick training video and reflect back on a class that I'd taken not too long ago called NT1230, or Client Server 1. It's a class that's taught at ITT Tech, where I'm currently a student, and the course introduces you to operating principles for the client-server-based networking systems. You get an opportunity to, look at the processes and procedures involved in the installation, configuration, maintenance, troubleshooting, and routine administrative tasks. Now, for this particular training video, I do want to focus on one thing in particular, which is in that administrative tasks wheelhouse, and that's user account controls. Now, what are user account controls, and where do I find them? Good question. So before I go any further, let me show you what those look like. Now, earlier I had downloaded a program called WinRAR. It's a compression program that's free. You can get it, most anywhere on the internet. And if I were to double click on this, it's going to come up with a window from the user account control. It says, do you want to allow the following program from an unknown publisher to make changes to this computer? This is the user account control. Now, the user account controls, they're the heart and soul of the security system at Windows 7. It's designed to protect your system from inadvertent or malicious, incidents that could compromise the stability and security of your computer while logged on. Now, of course, you can perform administrative tasks by working around the UAC. However, I would not recommend it. What I would recommend is that you go to the user account control panel and adjust it to your comfort level and trust level of your environment and your computer. Let me show you where that is. Now, there's two ways to get there that I know of. You can go through the control panel, or if you're like me, you just use the search bar, type in UAC, and it comes right up, change user account control settings. Now, there are 4 levels to user account control settings. There's the default level, which you just saw an example of a second ago. And there's one higher than that, which is always notify me if programs want to make changes to my operating system. Or there is don't notify me at all, never notify me. And it's not one that I would quite recommend. The one that Microsoft recommends for you is notify me when programs want to make changes, and it's at a level where Microsoft kind of knows who to trust and kind of doesn't. And when they don't, they notify you and let you know and ask your permission. Hey, do you want this to happen? Now, there is another side of user account controls, and I'm going to show you a quick example of that, which is running programs as administrator. So if we go back to our same program that I just downloaded a little while ago, WinRAR, if I were to right-click on this, I can actually elevate the permission here and run it as administrator. This time it's going to give me the same window. I can click yes, and it'll go ahead and run its operation. Now, sometimes you do forget to right-click on different programs or ask permission to run it as administrator, but there is a way you can set programs to always run as administrator, and that is part of the user account controls. So, for example, I've got a web browser here on my desktop. It's called Opera. It's a popular web browser. And if I were to right-click on this and come down to Properties, you can click on the Compatibility tab and choose from Privilege Level, you can choose Run this program as administrator. You click Apply, click OK, and when you try to run Opera, the user account control is going to come up and ask you, do you want to allow the following program to make changes to your computer? You click yes, and Opera will come right up and run as normal. Now, there are certain times where things don't necessarily go your way, and you need to get another level above that. And believe it or not, one does actually exist. There are certain times when you want to log in with a good old-fashioned, full-fledged, no-holds-barred administrator account. Now, you might be asking yourself, now wait a minute, hold on. Aren't I already on an administrator account? And I'm going to answer that in 2 ways, in fact. I'm going to say yes, because it says administrator right here. But I'm going to retract that, and I'm going to say no, because there is another administrator account higher than this one. And I'll be the first one to tell you that Microsoft has gone to great lengths to prevent you from using this administrator account, and as you can imagine, they're strongly going to discourage you from using that particular administrator account. Now, I'm going to show you how to get there, but I'm going to say 2 things about this. One, if you do use this higher level administrator account, use it sparingly. Use it only when you need to. Do not use this as your default account, because this particular administrator account bypasses the user account control completely. So if you're in that and something wants to make changes, if it does happen to be malicious, it's going to do it without your knowledge. And number two, if you do use this account and you do go to that administrator level, you're on your own. Use it at your own risk. I claim absolutely no responsibility. My highest recommendation to you is to go through the user account controls, leave it on the default setting or one higher, whatever your comfort level is, and stay there. You know, let Windows do its job and let it ask you for permission to make changes that might be important. Okay, now having said all that, let me show you where that other administrator account is. Now, if I hit start, go to my command prompt here, I can click on the command prompt, and I'm going to put in a request here, net user admin active equals yes. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter, and I automatically know it's going to tell me no, access is denied. As I was saying before, trust me, Microsoft's gone to great lengths to keep this account hidden, and it's for a good reason. Okay, and I want you to take notice of one thing real quick, right here. It says users, and then me. Now, if I were to go back and, as I showed you before, if you were to right-click on this and run as admin, it's going to come back and ask you, are you sure? You say yes. And this time it comes up with Windows System 32. You're elevating it a little higher to actually allow administrative privilege to make this request. So we're going to try it again. Net user active equal yes. And this time, it's going to tell me command completed successfully. Now, as you look at your Windows desktop here, nothing's changed, and nothing has actually changed with your administrator account that you're currently logged into. However, if I were to log off, as such, you're going to notice that there's another icon that pops up that says Administrator. This is the account that I've been telling you about. Okay, this is the account that bypasses user account controls completely. And if you do use this, use it sparingly and use it at your own risk. Do not use this as your default account. Please use your administrator account or user account, or ask somebody more knowledgeable than you. You know, but if you do use it, again, it's used at your own risk. So that concludes my short little tutorial on user account controls. I hope you found it informational. If you have questions, please put them down at the bottom here on the YouTube page. If you liked the video, you can give me the thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you can give me the thumbs down. However, I'd prefer you didn't. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.